Sports media is wrought with sexism and inequality, not only toward female athletes, but also for the women who work in sports media. Though women are slowly becoming more visible in sports media, there is a stark contrast between the treatment of women and men, both on the field and in front of the camera.
Think back to a sporting event when you were young. What did you see? Most people will remember a male team, male referees, a male announcer, and a male journalist. The field of sports is overwhelmingly considered a male field, both for athletes and journalists. Women face numerous barriers in the world of sports: lack of coverage and representation, male dominance, and unequal treatment and over-sexualization. Media outlets leave much to be desired in the coverage of women's sports versus men's sports. The excuse given for this is that there isn't much interest in women's sports as there is in men's. That argument presents a problem though. With women's sports receiving such little media attention, they're unlikely to gain more fans and interest, perpetuating the inequity they currently face.
In this image, you see a female soccer player from the U.S. women's soccer team celebrating a victory on the field. And without giving it a second thought, she takes off her shirt and she slides across the field to celebrate the victory. Now, had a male done this, it would not have been a big deal because it's something that soccer players tend to normally do. But when Brandy did this, it became such a media sensation. Everyone has something to say about it because she was a woman and she had on a sports bra and she slid across the field, which they tried to say was inappropriate and displayed a bad image for the women's soccer team and women in sports in general. As females in professional sports, they're held to a standard of always having to be ladylike. It's inappropriate for a woman to display what is considered inappropriate behavior because we're women and women are supposed to behave in a certain way, rather than just reacting to moments. As athletes, they're still seen as women who play sports instead of athletes who could have raw emotion to certain situations that happen during games. Whereas when men cuss and push and fight each other, it's never seen as, oh, that's so unmanly-like. No, it's just they expect it just because that they're men, and there's nothing ever seen bad about it. But when women display the same behaviors, it's seen as something that's just unforgivable, which is crazy. Now I'm going to talk about how we as recreation professionals have to continue to advocate to be the change. As recreation professionals, we have the responsibility to continue to educate and advocate for the rights and equal treatment for women that play professional sports and women who just engage in leisure activities in general. It's okay if a woman is on a hike and she's extremely hot and suffering from maybe heat exhaustion or maybe dehydration to take her shirt off if she has a sports bra on to cool off and take a drink. And it's okay if a female athlete becomes aggressive on the field or on the court when engaging in a physical sport. It's okay to show that emotion. They're not just to be seen by just what their gender is, but to be seen as a professional player who has raw emotion to participate in the leisure activity and in the sport that they love so much. It's very important that we continue to allow young girls to know that it is okay to be passionate about something, and it's okay to stand up against those who try to tell you that something isn't right simply because they feel it's unladylike.